Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. ID man. Every little thing is gonna be alright. I said every little thing.
Hey-o.
It's gonna be alright. As soon as I get rid of this music out of the background. Yeah, now every little thing will be alright. Hey, I like my hat today, ladies and gentlemen. I came across this in the multitude of nonsense shit I've collected over the years and such. But anyway, here we are. Hello and welcome. I'm sorry, when I get started, I'm always a little bit discombobulated because I got like 6 things going on. You know how it is. You guys have been with me long enough to understand what goes on, but we settle into it. As we go. RC3 is already in the house. He just sending me a message that he's going to hop online and watch the show on YouTube, which would be a great idea, RC3. You don't have to tell me that you're going to watch the show when you're watching the show. Just watch the show. Hey-o. No, I love RC3 and I appreciate it. I've been communicating with him, let him know he was waiting for me to get it going today. But I forgot that my power went out yesterday for a short time. And so, of course, everything had to be rebooted and redone. And that's just the way it goes here on Operation Status Quo. So, all right. So the live chat is up and running. I see. There we go. RC3 is in the live chat. I needed you to regain power. Yes, sir, Mr. RC3, sir. We did regain power. Power to the people. That's what it's all about. That's why I got the hat on. Every little thing. It's gonna be alright. Yeah.
Heyo.
So I am Pete Palma. I am your user-friendly host, of course, broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home. Indeed, it's a lovely place to be, at least for me anyway, because that's why it's my home. Might not be as comfortable for you, but we can figure that out down the line. If you ever want to stop by, just let me know. This is Operation Status Quo, the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, most importantly, we learn to create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. So what are you doing out there right now this very, very second? Tell me, RC3, I know you're there. I know what you're doing, RC3. You're watching Operation Status Quo to create your own flow quo. I don't know. That seems like kind of like some sort of oxymoron, especially the word moron here on Operation Status Quo. But what are you doing out there? Let me know in the comments below. Because if you're not living your flow of quo, ladies and gentlemen, must I say it every single time? I must. You are living someone else's flow, and that is a no-no. Charge! Yeah. I was out last night. I'm going to take the hat off because I'll start sweating profusely within moments. I was out last night for back at the boot for the open mic hosted by Jason Stallworth. He does such a great job, Jason, just very professional in the way he sets everything up and gets everything organized and facilitates the space for people to come up and play and everything that goes on there at the boot. So come on out sometime and see us do some of the open mic stuff. It was a good time last night. There was like 9 or something people that showed up, so it was really cool. And one of the guys was actually a harmonica player, and he had a whole like board of all different pedals and stuff for the harmonica. And then he started telling me about stuff where he was learning. And he just kept saying, the pattern, draw, blow. Kept going, draw, blow. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can ever look at my harmonica the same. Draw, blow. I got so excited. I don't know if I can ever touch this thing without ejaculating again. Please, we do this already. Please, stop. All right. You know how it goes on Operation Status Quo, but we had a good time. And I also want to do a quick thank you here before I get started to my buddy Chris out there, Chris Bannister, who is always checking in, always liking all the stuff on Facebook that I put up and YouTube and everything else. So I think he's my number one fan, I believe, at this point. He actually likes clicks like on everything, and I appreciate the support. I'm not sure if I'm going to come home one day and find the rabbit boiling on the stove. I'm a little nervous, Chris. I got to be honest. Nah. Chris is great.
Heyo.
He's my RV buddy. We had the conversation. Once the Pete Palma project here, once everything takes off and explodes, I'm going to settle into a nice little RV and drive around the country and visit everyone. Visit each and every one of my fans out there. So I appreciate it. Anyway, I wanted to give him a thank you. And I wasn't going to do this today, but here we go because this is how my brain goes. I think I'm going to have to do a quick Toast to Drost update. Yeah, because Mark is back at it a little bit.
Hey-o.
You know, it's so funny because the last time I talked about it, I had said that, I kind of called him out for saying he was a wuss a little bit because he went back and took down everything he was saying. He was so vehemently opposed to things that are going on in our society and such. And, whatever. Me, I don't give a crap about politics and all. It's all stupid and BS. And the only reason for those of you who are new to the Toast to Drost updates is that, Mark is a quote unquote yoga guru. He has a business where he's, teaching people to be teachers of yoga. And then he actually has he's very angry at the world, which is so ironic to me because he should know better than to actually believe anything that's going on in the world. But I'm not even going to get into reading his post, but he did say, Happy Independence Day, USA. Happy Independence Day, USA does not exist anymore. Once realized, we can move on. I know Mark already moved on because he's living outside the country. Now, I will say this, though, because I agree with Mark in a sense that first of all, the USA hasn't existed since the 1800s. So, Mark, thanks for catching up. The problem is that you believe that one of the sides is actually trying to do something good. That's the problem. And it's funny because talking about this is actually leading into exactly what I'm going to talk about today on the show. What else did I'm not going to get into too much with him, but he did come back and just say some things about, he was talking about Bruce Springsteen, I guess, a concert that Bruce Springsteen did said 65,000 people joining Bruce to rise up against fascism. This is what I'm talking about, of taking the surface level world seriously. And it always just, tickles my little fancy because, Mark being the yoga guy and, it's just kind of funny. But again, like I always like to say, Mark did, of course, take his business from another business, which I'm also not 100% against in a way because obviously you can't, yoga's yoga, right? So, but anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole thing. I just think Mark's back at it. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, Mark Drost, everything he puts on his Facebook is public. So just go to Mark Drost on Facebook, go to his support the guy, send him a smile, tell him Operation Status Quo sent you, tell him Pete Palma sent you, right? Send him a message on one of his posts, do that for me. And let's let Mark know that we're embracing him and we're loving him and trying to see if we can quell the anger that he seems to love to brew in over the course of his lifetime. For whatever reason, he wants to believe all that crap and go about it. Instead, Mark, teach the damn yoga, man. Talk about separation from physicality, non-attachment. You know what I mean? Come on. Yoga 101. Forget the postures.
Hey-o.
All right. So, but anyway, that kind of leads into what I'm talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, because today is, and by the way, because I forgot last week to talk about what was coming up on the show before I got into anything, but we you know how we go. 8 minutes already. I've been babbling. So anyway, but there no special guest today. We had a little issue with the Starlink satellite. I've been on the phone with Elon and the team to get things back together. So this week we won't have a guest, but I have things lined up, and we'll be back at that real soon. So we're just going to have some fun today and talk. I might do some fun facts at the end. So stick around. Let's just see how the show goes. All right. I mean, it's all a work in progress. Everything is just happening as it happens, and I never really know what's going to happen. And sometimes it makes me very happy, and sometimes it makes me very nervous, and then sometimes I don't even know what I want to do. No. I was ready to go into a mad rage of sound effects, and I won't do it to you, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't deserve it. You deserve some content, and let's see if we can do that for about 30 seconds so we can do some content. All right, here we go. Today is the 10th of July in the good year 2025, and today's program is entitled, Who is Batman? Batman. Boom, boom, boom. Remember how they used to do in the old show? They showed the punches, boom, 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 It's like, all right, so who is Batman? Why am I saying that, ladies and gentlemen? Because what crazy thought is going through my mind today? Oh my gosh, I am sweating already. You see how I work for you people? I love you people so much. My blood is like boiling inside of itself. My blood's separate from itself boiling. That's how hot I am. Not how hot I am, but you know what I'm saying. Worked up for you, the beautiful people out there. All right. So, I was thinking about this because I really always try to make people understand in a way, because everybody, again, going back to what I was just talking about with Mark, how much he despises Trump and all that stuff and thinks whatever he thinks about it. But the point is just the way other people busted, Biden's chops for, the past 4 years, saying he was a zombie and a clone, which he probably, it's not the real him, just like Trump's not real Trump. Okay. Here we go, real fast. Too fast. Here we go. What I'm saying is, like I always try to explain, is that what we're seeing is a show in some sort of capacity. There's levels upon levels, and there's so much going on that, it can't be, the linear stuff of what we see is not true. When I say who is Batman, what I'm saying is, and if we're going to use Trump, or you can use Elon Musk, or you could use Putin, I don't care. Pick any one of these, elite names, what's his face, Bill Gates, all these type of people, right? Like, to me, they're not really people. Like, they're entities, like Batman, right? You have Batman, and, Adam West played Batman. Michael Keaton played Batman. Val Kilmer played Batman. George Clooney played Batman. Christian Bale played Batman, right? What's his name? Ben Affleck played Batman. But they're all Batman, right? Batman is Batman, but it doesn't matter who you put in the costume. And this is what I'm saying about people like Trump and all the leaders and everything we see, this organized, orchestrated, madness that they put forth of the narratives, of the stories that are going on. I'm saying these are created entities, and they're part of a story of a bigger picture of how humanity is meant to move and operate. For again, like I said last week, or was it last week? I don't know. I say it all the time. There's no such thing as right or wrong, good or bad, right? Everything is a piece of the totality. So, what's going on when we see all these different facets, it doesn't matter. It's not, there's nothing to focus on. This is what I'm talking about all the time. Like, everyone is always focused on, oh, well, what do you think what's going on here? And, oh, just see that story over there. And like, even these floods that happened in Texas. Of course, the flood happened, but like, well, what's the real, nothing is random that way. And I just don't, first of all, I would say I don't believe it. I just think it speaks for itself that nothing is random. Everything that happens is meant to happen in the way it happens for the completeness of what ultimately is and what needs to be done and where the collective mindset is at the time. So, I think it's, to take pressure off people. I try to say this type of stuff. it's like I can say, somebody like Trump, he's not real. He's actually who knows what the technologies of, whether he's, some sort of bio created entity. There could be 30 of them, right? I mean, how does a guy get around? When you think about how much these people travel and all day long, from morning to night, all day long, all over. I mean, like, I'm tired after 20 minutes. I did my dipsy doodle at the pool before I came here. I'm ready for a damn nap. But no, I'm here to do a show for you. And I'll do it. I know. It's not funny. Just let me do what I'm trying to do here, all right? Because you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, ultimately, right? Just get out of here. Stop laughing. Ultimately, the dissemination of information to the population is an operation, right? You have to remember that. The dissemination of information to a population is an operation. And that's exactly what we're seeing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like plain and simple. And there's so many subtleties. I'm going back on this now. I guess I'm getting into it because, again, going back to COVID, when COVID happened, it was a big, first of all, you didn't even realize how effed up things were, say, like from 2000, just like 16 through 18. Like, I just, when I look back on it and realize like how much everything was like coming to fruition with the Me Too movement and like what happened with Harvey Weinstein and all that kind of crap, right? And him, that was almost like the first thing that think about where we are today with the talk of, whatever, gender inequality, sexual inequality, harassment, human trafficking, right? Think about that now with the Epstein and all this stuff and how that has come and built itself up over the course of time. But if you go back, to those, like, I'm thinking back for myself when I was still wrapped up in that, in a way, in that mainstream life, like just going to work and, being a cattle, so when I look back and think about what was going on, I would keep to myself more and be like, oh my gosh, I can't even like talk to people anymore. Everybody's so sensitive. And I remember one guy, this is even before COVID happened, was telling me that I was inconsiderate towards humanity because I wouldn't get flu shots. And I'm like, no, I mean, like, and this guy was like, overweight, out of shape and everything else. And he's telling me that I'm an ass for not getting a flu shot. It's like, well, maybe if you, like I always say, maybe if you put the damn Doritos down, put them down. Maybe like a couple less Chips Ahoy, excuse me, and you'll be all right. Excuse me. A couple less Chips Ahoy, and maybe you won't need the flu shot. You understand what I'm trying to say? I just always gets me because one of the things that really always sticks to me, and why I'm saying all this, it's all part of everything I'm saying. There's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. Everybody's looking out there, what's getting them, looking out there, what's out there. It's not. It's all in here, baby. It's all in here. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? How you vibing? It doesn't matter. It's like but people are so wound up and involved in everything. And like I was just saying, about the dissemination of information, the operation, blah blah blah. But I mean, that's really what to think about. Think about it and go back, because now I realize I got off on a tangent. So like 16, 17, 18, I went blah, 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 how those kind of years were with all this weird kind of woke vibes. I'm not even against the concept of woke in a way could be positive of wanting to everyone have a voice, and I'm trying to say, but it's all twisted and convoluted to make other people feel uncomfortable. It's like in the effort to make this group say okay, this group has to now not say okay. So I mean, it's really just like you're just reversing. You're not really solving the problem. This is why even like when I talk about Mark, like Mark, when I do the toast for Drost, you're not solving the problem by throwing venomous statements, towards entities that aren't even real, really. And what you're throwing it against is creating enemies within your own community. I don't even mean the yoga. I'm just talking about us as a people, as humanity. Because when they throw these sides out, whatever side you're on, right, left, all bullshit, who cares? Whatever you're choosing to think and believe and follow is ultimately pitting you against your fellow human. And that is what they create. It doesn't matter. There is no right? There is no good guy. There's no good guy. It's one thing that's purposely done that divides, and then it just divides and divides and divides all the way down. So, division of political parties turns into division over these many issues, which turns into division over this many things at the next level down. And it's just like, that's the real trickle down theory. I think that's what Reagan was really going for. Well, I don't know who I am. I know you don't, Ronnie. I know you don't. But that's all right, because you're dead now. Oh my goodness. I don't want that. I gotta wait for this applause to run out. So by the time I get back to it, it'll be done anyway. Let's see if I can get back to it before it stops. I did it. I got back to it before it stops. So yeah, and I think again, people put pressure on themselves for all that stuff. And if you think about the news and the way things are told, just think about what we're told. It's always the same story. It's always the same type of stories. It's always at the same time. It's always the same thing through each channel. Just with the different. With this slant that says Trump did a good job and this slant that says Trump did a bad job, but either way, it's all the same crap. And then there's all this other stuff that's always happening that no one even ever talks about, right? And to kind of go back again to saying how we've been following everything since COVID happened and how the world has been changing over this time. There's so much I see, it's so much bigger than the politics and all this crap that people say. We, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this. We are in a transition time as a people, as a collective, as a human race, okay? I mean, for real, there's a lot of stuff. The technology that's about to really come out with the AI and stuff is off the charts, right? Stuff that we're not, and they're already light years ahead of us using it. That's what I'm trying to say when I say, who is Batman? Like, you don't even know what you're seeing. Nobody's even real, And then how the financial system is changing and moving forward, as far as how things are going to turn into digital and cryptocurrency. And I'm not saying anything, a lot of people are afraid of that type of stuff too, because they feel like then they're under control. But again, it's not the technology, it's not the devices, it's the intention and the usage behind it. And if we as a collective decide that we are not not going to allow ourselves to be oppressed. And I think that's why we're seeing what we're seeing across the board through a multitude of facets, whatever side you want. People can think that the left are kookadoos, and people can think the right are total fascist Nazis, whatever people think. But either way, it's showing nobody wants either side. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the point. That's the point of why it's being done the way it's done, to get into the hearts of people to say, stop looking outside for your savior. Your savior is inside. You are the savior. You part of the oneness. We're all part of divinity. One grand whatever moment, cycle. I don't know. One grand piece of energy, and we deplete ourselves and look at ourselves as weak and inferior, and we need someone to make us feel okay, or we need a system to make us feel safe, or we need a leader to tell us that, whatever, they're going to go blow somebody up. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter which side. It's the whole thing in itself is a design, and in my opinion, and how I view it and see it is that, it's purposeful to get people to go inside and say, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with it anymore. Like how I left the mainstream, in a way. Of course I'm still part of life. I use that term mainstream in the sense of people who are just, programmed bots. They just go through their day and they don't even think that there's other things that they could be doing, or don't even question what it is they may even want to do, right? They're just, no, you get up and you do this and you do this and you do that and you do that and then you do this and then you do that, and it's just like, you got to break that chain. You got to break away from them. Like there's a whole world to be had. It's like, the dog, chained to the tree. It's just for years and then doesn't want to leave that space. Once the chain is broke, it's like, break the chain. There's a whole freaking world out there that you don't even realize exists because they've taught you to believe otherwise and then keep you in fear with the systems that are in place. So I don't know. I just try to say, even with going back to the news, because I wanted to say, just think about how fake it is, especially with somebody like, I can't stand that darn David Muir from World News. I definitely believe he's some sort of clone or some sort of AI apparatus. This guy, when does he ever miss anything? Any of these guys, you ever see them miss a story? Oh crap, the tidal wave's coming. Where's Dave? Oh, he was. I think he's in the bathroom. We got to go get him. Or oh, he's away. He must have his phone turned off, or he's always there. They're always there. It's but they have there's nothing outside the parameters of what them in that capacity. Even think of your local people. It's a little less with them in a sense, but you still don't even see them in a way. David Muir, you don't see him anywhere. There's who's ever running? I've said this before. I've been talking about this for years. I want people to find David. Who's ever seen David Muir anywhere in public? At a cafe, I don't know, maybe getting a water ice somewhere, walking downtown in Philly, getting a soft pretzel. Who's ever seen David Muir anywhere except for on the TV with his arms out like this going, rah, 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 tragedy strikes, rah, rah, rah. Oh, we're going to be watching this. Lots of misery yet to come. You know what I'm saying? It's it's so stupid. And people believe it and watch it and think it's real. It's like a freaking programmed show, people. A literal freaking CIA. I don't know if it's a CIA operation. Whatever it is, it's a show. Whoever's doing it. DARPA. I don't know. It's what was I going to say too? I made a note for myself on one other thing I think I wanted to mention. Yeah. I said, oh yeah, because I was going to joke and say when they talk about whatchamacallit. When they talk about when I was talking about, I got thrown off. My brain shut down. Hold on, reboot. Oh, I'm back. When we had the when I was talking about people like who is Batman, who's playing these parts and stuff. You think about you could if you don't understand what I'm talking about and can't see it that way, think about it from your own life. Think about you're going to have a party at your house, right? So what do? You clean up, you stuff that you might have laying around normally, you would tidy up and put in the closet or something. So when everybody comes in, they think, oh, look how pristine and clean and open and this home is. But they don't know that there's a pile of dog shit behind the couch every afternoon. Your socks are hanging from the ceiling fan. You're peeing on the floor. They don't know that. They don't see it. because you create the image that your house is beautiful, for the moments that they're there. That just like they do just like they're doing through mainstream media and all the things that we're seeing. I mean, and I don't just see mainstream media is everything. It's not just like turning on the news. It's the stories that come through the news. It's the politics. It's everything. It's all one conglomerate of nonsense. So just take it light. Hey, what we do here on Operation Status Quo? We take it light. We don't get worked up here. On Operation Status Quo, we stay nice and calm. I don't want to hear it from you sons of bitches. Why do we gotta go through this every time? Blow draw. All right, that's basically what I got for you here today, ladies and gentlemen. Should I stick around? You guys, let me know in the chat. Should I stick around and do a couple fun facts before I go, or did you have enough of Operation Status Quo today? RC3 mentioned about my dipsy doodle in the pool, because I did talk about my dipsy doodle in the pool. Yes, RC3, I did do the dipsy doodle, and of course, now this will be a little bit of an obscure comment, but. Back in the day, in our local, from the Philadelphia area, people will know Jim Gardner and Vernon Onum, which is always I'm not going to even talk about it because it's so obscure unless you live in Philly. But Jim Gardner is another good example, and that's honestly is who I was thinking of when I said you never see the people around. Like you never just. I mean, I guess people ran into Jim Gardner at restaurants and stuff. I really don't know, but I never saw him hanging out anywhere. Used to run into the sports people a lot, but no. Not so much the news people, but the news people know better than to go out in public, right? Because they're liars and they're complicit in just feeding the population what is being disseminated to them, so that they can keep their position and their job and their status. So they know that they're snakes, really, right? Weaselly, little, empty. Even though the people I watch down here, that one guy's that Paul Legrone. I think his name is Paul Legrone. Talk about looking like a pedophile. I don't know what's up with that guy. I mean, talk about a fraud, and the chick that's with him. What the hell's her name? I forget now. The blonde. I mean, she's another one. Two tool bags, and the way they talk, they act like they're so concerned. Like people are, they could put on stories. People are really freaking suffering, and they go, "Oh, these are," like they don't give a freaking shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like they put it on, and we're doing for the community. You ain't doing shit for the community. You're freaking doing for you to go get your hair gel, and then sit in the green room after and before the show and have everybody powder your ass. That's what you're doing, okay? So let's be real about it. But anyway, I think I'm going to let it go here. I've been trying to keep the shows under 30 minutes, and we're at 27. So I think we did well today. And so just remember, who is Batman? We don't really know, ladies and gentlemen, because the entity itself exists on its own, and it really just matters who they put in the suit. So that's what we're seeing with all the people that you're getting upset out there over there with the politics and everything else. Don't be mad at these people. You're really just getting mad at fictional characters. So just turn away from it, turn to yourself, turn to your local community. Let's start working together, building together, and creating the life that we each want to live. That's how we make our own flow of quo right here on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't done so far already, I please ask you to take the time to like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. As you very well know, I love each and every one of you out there individually as well as a group. God bless you. Please take the time also to stream the Happy Day album, now available on all your favorite music streaming platforms. Check out the website, pete.palma.com. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. A lot of fun stuff going on over there. So, that's it. I'm with you. I love you, and God bless, and I'll be talking to you soon. So until next time, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.